Yeah. Hey crew, so earlier I submitted a tutorial up there where I was showing you guys how to create an entire piece. I only did a little bit of it. I didn't want to create a piece. I just wanted to see how you guys would run with the idea of it. And what it was to create an entire painting using nothing more than just a magazine sheet. And I got some very awesome results. But let me do an entire piece so that you guys can see more or less what I was trying to teach you guys to do. We're going to do this with black. I currently don't have any color placed black, so I'm going to be using Rust-Oleum. The problem with Rust-Oleum is it dries too quickly, so I have to work a little bit faster. I'm going to start off by putting a bunch of paint, black paint here on the side, and I'm going to create a quick terrain. Now guys, there's no need to use any other tools. I'm just using black. And then what I do is I come back here and I smear it downwards. See that? And that gives us a very realistic looking terrain out here in the background. Now, let me see. Just like that. I'm going to create maybe a little bit over here and bring down some of these rocks. I had some people asking me like, what do you mean create a terrain with just black? Well guys, look at this. I don't know if you guys can't see it, but I am creating a land terrain right here, little landscape, doing nothing more than just smearing downward and putting some random rocks in different places. Now this is important to do depending on whatever brand of spray paint that you use, because as I told you earlier, with this brand, the paint is a little bit thicker and it's harder to manipulate. It is for me. It is for me. You guys might have a little more experience with it. I use color place, black gloss color place, and I'm usually very proficient with it. Not that I'm not proficient with this one. I'll still get my point across, but I feel that I have to use more black than I normally would with our color place brand. All right, so this is an exercise that I recommend you guys try to get your hands used to manipulate the paint a little bit better, and you'd be able to create an entire landscape like I am doing here with nothing more than just a magazine sheet. And look at that guys, it didn't take any time at all. If you guys still don't see it, I will add a few more details so that you guys can see the landscape that I'm talking about. Alright, check this out guys. Move this out of the way. I'll come over here, add some trees. Oh. Remember about the funnel guys, is you have to constantly be making sure that it's clean, especially since we're using thicker paint, as we're doing in this case. Alright, here we go. I think you guys are able to see what I'm doing here. Do you guys see the terrain? If you guys didn't see it before, I think you'd start seeing it right about now. Now that I'm adding the trees. So as you can tell, I'd be able to make a painting in less than a minute using nothing more. Now I wasn't really going for speed on this one, but you can do it doing nothing more than just a magazine sheet and your spray castle funnel. You'll also, you know, if you want to add some more details to it, you'd be able to create it with the sea sponge. You know, you guys know my handy dandy little sea sponge. True believer of it. It works great. And I will do a few little branches here. Now this is all I'm going to use guys for my sea sponge. I've already used part of it. I'm going to put a little bit of black here off on the side. I'm just going to tap into it. Again guys, this is a really neat exercise for you guys to start practicing your terrain, be able to manipulate the paint faster, get you used to your paints. Now I know that a lot of you folks out there are in Europe or in the eastern parts and don't have access to the same brands of spray paints that we have here. So this would be a nice exercise for you guys to get used to the brands that you guys have out there. See, I'm able to create. This is the grass technique, guys. You remember how to create that? Quick strokes. That's all I'm doing. This tool is so versatile that not only can you create the little the quick strokes here to create the ground, the grass, but check this out. Look at that. Instant tree leaves. See that? Now of course you can go back and start adding some highlights, but for the sake of this exercise, this is what I was trying to get you guys to do, to start practicing using just nothing more than your magazine sheet to create the terrain. Now in the last tutorial, or quickie, it was I did a skull, right, where I had a skull. It was this. What I was trying to lead you guys to do is to create a terrain with the skull in the background. Be able to create some rocks, some plant life here, and that way it gives you the effect that if you look at it from a different angle, it would create. Well, let's work on that for a little bit. See, in this one, I created a small rocky terrain, and then I added a bunch of black here so that you guys could see the skull that I was working on. I was really hoping you guys would try and do is create a terrain, see, like I'm doing here. And then have a second image in the background. In this case, well, we did a skull, but you could have done something else. That's what I was hoping you guys would kind of lean to try and do. See that? So practice it, guys. Practice something like this. Try and do a landscape, and then in the background with the magazine sheet, manipulating the shadows, try and get another image back there. I went with the skull. I don't know if you can see the teeth here and the nose and the eyes. You can do other things. You can do maybe a horse's face, something else. But practice something like this, guys. This will get your skill way higher. You'd be able to manipulate water waves, terrains, as you can see. Look at this. You can see the rocks perfectly. Be able to create a black and white in no time. So practice with the magazine sheet, guys. It's a very useful tool. All right, crew. So I'll let you guys with that. I know that a couple of you guys are having problems with water waves. Well, this will get you there. Not only there, it will take you further. So practice that. And until next time, crew, keep those cans shaking.